Some stories stick with you, not because they have an ending, but because they don't. This is one of them. A young man disappears. A law enforcement officer is the last person to see him alive. And then, nothing. No answers, no closure, just silence. This is the story of Terrance Williams. And once you hear it, you won't forget it. Marsha Williams, Terrance's mother, recalls getting an uneasy feeling one morning of January 13, 2004, and began to pray for her only child, Terrance Williams. Who was Terrance Williams? Terrance Williams was 27 years old, a father of four, living in Naples, Florida. By all accounts, he was a good guy, funny, caring, and trying to get his life back on track. He had some minor legal trouble in the past, but nothing unusual. But on January 11, 2004, he left home to attend a party, but he never made it back. His mother recalls him going to a party the previous night, and he didn't text her, which was unusual for Terrance. She immediately knew something wasn't right. When her anxiety got the best of her, she took matters into her own hands and began searching for him with friends and family. After what seemed like an eternity, she managed to find out that his car was impounded after being reported abandoned. This wasn't the news the family wanted to hear, but it gave them a lead. After reading the tow records, Marsha learned that the last person seen with Terrance was Collier County Sheriff's Deputy Steve Calkins. According to the cemetery workers, Steve Calkins had pulled Terrance over by Naples Memorial Cemetery and arrested him. Several witnesses made this statement and said Terrance was whisked away after being patted down and getting into the back of the sheriff's patrol car. The employees of the cemetery claimed that the sheriff returned 15 minutes later, moving Terrance's Cadillac on the side of the road and leaving the keys on the ground beside the car. Marsha's family said Terrance didn't have a license, so naturally they assumed that he had been booked for this reason. There was no police report, no arrest record, no booking information, nothing. But here's where things start to get suspicious. Initially, Deputy Steve Calkins stated he never arrested Terrance that day. Sheriff Deputy Steve Calkins later claimed that Terrance was having car trouble. He said he gave him a ride to a nearby Circle K convenience store, claiming Terrance asked him for a ride to work. There was only one problem. Security footage from the Circle K shows no sign of Terrance, not entering nor exiting. Terrance also did not work at Circle K, and even the employees who worked there was puzzled by this statement. As the days progressed and Terrance still remained missing, Terrance's mother Marsha received some shocking news. Someone from the community had reached out to her and told her that Sheriff Deputy Steve Calkins was involved in another incident with striking similarities to Terrance's disappearance. 3 months prior to Terrance's disappearance, on October 14, 2003, a 23-year-old illegal immigrant named Felipe Santos disappeared after a run-in with none other than Sheriff Steve Calkins. Santos' two brothers claimed that Felipe was involved in a minor car accident with them. At the time, he had been in the U.S. illegally for 3 years after leaving Mexico. Steve Calkins responded to the call. Santos was also driving without a valid ID. Just like Terrance, Santos was arrested and hauled away into the back of the deputy's car. Santos' brother claimed that that was the last time that they had ever seen their brother. Felipe Santos' wife had just given birth to their child 4 months prior to his disappearance. It was later discovered that Santos' boss tried to post his bail, but soon discovered he was never booked. When the deputy was asked about Felipe Santos, he claimed to have no idea who they were talking about. He claimed he had never seen Santos before. He later recanted that statement and said he recalled arresting him for driving without a license, but that he dropped him off at a Circle K, the same exact Circle K that he claimed to have dropped Terrance at. He claimed he changed his mind about the arrest because Felipe was being nice and cooperative. Calkins' location was unaccounted for nearly 2 hours after leaving the site. An incident report was filed against Calkins by his brother George, but law enforcement cleared him of any wrongdoings. Same deputy, same vanishing act, same Circle K story, same complete lack of evidence. A pattern? After learning this information, Terrance's family was outraged. They wanted to know why he wasn't investigated after the first incident. Law enforcement claimed that they did not have any incriminating evidence against Calkins. They interviewed him multiple times, and they say his story never changed. He was also given 3 polygraph tests, one inconclusive, one showing honesty, and one showing deception. Over the years, these 2 cases have made major headlines. In 2018, Tyler Perry offered a $100,000 reward for anyone who had information for the 2 missing men. Calkins was eventually fired from his position as a police officer, but he was never charged. In 2016, Calkins moved from Naples, Florida to Iowa, where he worked at UPS until 2013, where he was also fired after causing the scene. Terrance's mother, Marcia Williams, never gave up. She still hasn't. She's been searching for her son for over 20 years through grief, silence, and bureaucratic stone walls. Terrance Williams was declared dead in 2009. The question still remains, what happened to Terrance Williams and Felipe Santos?